Oh, we're live, live. As usual, I'm never fully aware of when the live begins, so I apologize for the confused start to all of the videos, but welcome and thanks for joining. Whether you're watching live or watching the recording, after quite some break, I am back in channeling regularly, and the intention is to begin live stream channeling every week. Those watching on YouTube can hop into the Zoom room. The Zoom link is in the chat box and on the emails that I send out, and many of the social posts. You can get the link in advance and the time so that you can join these streams. And these are partially just a stream in connection with the Pleiadian Council. I'm having a hard time with the phone today. And then the rest is the participation of the audience. So this is a time for your questions and interactions with the Pleiadian Council. It can be a sharing, it can be some personal growth you want to break through in your life, whether it's learning something new, overcoming certain fears, manifesting something that's important to you, or understanding the dynamics of energy. The Pleiadian Council offers their support and an intuitive reading that can allow you to deepen into insight and wisdom and grow on your path. I've been doing these for many years, and I'm always excited to share. And today, I'm not quite sure if there's going to be somebody who will be able to read aloud the questions that people type into the YouTube chat, but I will do my best to take those questions and take some of the best for next week if no one hops in. Those who join in Zoom are welcome to ask their questions and interact with the council. It's usually a little bit more quiet after these long breaks. So hopefully some turn out today. I've been on a road trip. I've been going all through Europe, from Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, and Sweden. It's been amazing. It's been quite tiring. After a lot of time, very focused, working in the yoga retreat center and the other adventures I had in India, this was a time for just adventure and play and letting loose a little bit. And I really enjoyed all of the people I met and friends from before that I connected with. And it's great inspiration to hop back into channeling. And there will also be some in-person groups that I'll host in Denmark and Sweden if you're around those areas. Also, the channeling course is enrolling if you want to learn about how to channel and deepen in your own connection with your guides. The ongoing enrolling process will culminate in a course once we have enough people signed up. So you can go to dantestarshine.com for that information. I often do a little tour of the website, but I'll skip it today. You can hop over there and you can find out all the information about the sessions I offer, the channeling course, and the books that I have released. The last one, Heart First, came out a couple months ago now, and I'm still really excited to get that out into the world. More sharing about that in due time, I think. So, yeah, without further ado, we'll begin. And the Pleiadian Council can share an introduction, and anyone who wants then can ask their questions aloud and or type them in. And if we don't get to them today, we'll take the best questions to next week. And hopefully we keep this time of Wednesdays, though if I find it's the audience prefers a different time, it isn't so difficult for me to switch days of the week. So let me know what the best day is for you if you have a request, and we can work that in. So anyway, see you on the other side. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to all of you. We are the Pleiadian Council. We speak on behalf of the Galactic Alliance, supporting your world in this process. Many of you call Ascension, which is your spiritual evolution and the birthing of a new era in your world and in this galaxy. We are very excited to support you in this process with the messages that we know are most crucial for you and your Earth at these times. And of course, with the questions and comments that you may bring. Today, we have entitled this transmission Awareness, Detoxification of Toxic Energies, and Transmutation, perhaps not in that order. And we would like to illuminate the way that you can become aware of the energies in your world and in your life that are toxic to you, and choose how to limit yourself, yet at the same time, understand the way that you can, with your awareness and with your body and intention, transmute toxic energies that you might inevitably take in from the environment and from others, and also those that you might choose to take in for your own purposes of exploration. Indeed, everything to an extent has a toxic component. And when you moderate your use of different foods and energies, those toxins have next to no effect on you. Though if you overconsume anything, it becomes toxic. Life is meant to be about diversity and variety. And that's why there's so many different kinds of people, so many different ways of seeing the world. And it is through coming to know yourself more clearly that your heart comes to be open for all of the different people, all of the different perspectives, knowing that some perspectives align with yours and others don't, but all are valid and all are important. And all of these explorations of the soul are necessary for all of the souls on this planet at this time to get to know themselves in different ways. Bringing it back to the core of our message, as always, the point of your existence is to be who you are. And at the core of who you are is love, is what some call God. Love is this uniting force that brings together all beings. When you tap into this energy of love, you know that oneness with something bigger than yourself. And you also recognize that this universe is inherently one and is meant to synergize and come together. And this happens through energetic resonance. You know something is right for you through that feeling of excitement, passion, openness in your heart. There are so many different ways of connecting with your soul, and the knowing in your heart is what guides you to what is best for you. And so the formula of acting on your own highest passion, your own highest excitement, whatever illuminates you and brings you enthusiasm to the best of your ability without insisting on any outcomes, without attaching to what you think needs to happen, and instead being open to appreciate all outcomes, using mistakes and failures as lessons, using everything that you don't prefer in a positive way. You remain in that state of openness and that state of connection to source, and your intuition works to guide you to take the next steps. This is the essence of the process, though there are many nuances and there are many unique ways that each soul will come to know their own specific formulas for their growth at unique times. So, bringing it to the message we wish to share with you today. Your world is now very aware of the idea of toxicity. For some time, you've known that you pollute your world and that you take in toxic energy from the exhaust and fumes that cars and manufacturing and all your industries produce. You also take in, to a degree, toxic energies from agricultural practices that are bringing and are introducing inorganic materials into your food and water. Also, there is the toxic energy of abuse, mistreatment, that is now very common to explore through that term toxic. What does it mean for someone's behavior to be toxic? Essentially, toxicity in your relations is whenever somebody limits your connection to love, to your essence, or attempts to limit your own expression of that. This happens in all sorts of ways through coercion, manipulation, suggestion, control. And inevitably, everybody faces these sorts of energies at different points in their lives. Though all of these situations and even the toxins from the environment can be transformed, and it begins with your own awareness. You first of all have to become aware of what is healthy and healing for you and what is toxic for you. And meditation practice, connection with yourself in this way, feeling your body, connecting with its sensations, and making it a continual practice of being aware of how you're feeling and what's influencing how you're feeling will be what guides you to know what is right for you and what isn't. As you eat something with awareness, slowly and mindfully, and you pay attention to your belly and how your body responds, you know absolutely, is this good for me or is it not? The same is true with your relations. As you sit around others and share space with them, the feeling in your body tells you, is this energy healthy for me? Sometimes, even in the presence of people that don't resonate with you at the core, if there are ways that you change your own perspective and change how you respond to them, you don't have to become drained. And that toxic energy washes away. Yet, if in the company of those others, you disconnect from yourself, you disconnect from your core emotions in your heart and what your core beliefs and values are, and you become something other than your own essence for them, then you might take on some of their energy, some of their emotional burden, or some of their negative attitudes and carry them with you. So the essence of what it means to transmute is to have that light of awareness, to recognize what beliefs and what attitudes within yourself cause you to perhaps sacrifice your own beliefs and values for others, to give of your energy when you don't actually wish to do that from a true place. Now, this process of deepening in awareness can lead you through a phase of detoxification. This can be detoxification from the foods that were not healthy to you. It can be detoxification from the types of people and activities that weren't right for you. It can be detoxification from substances that you might have used to suppress your emotions or to hide. It might mean detoxing from habits that, like these substances, distracted you from your core. And in these times, many take to the rapid fire of things like Reels and TikTok that distract you and feed you information that isn't necessarily relevant to you. You can often forget who you are as you take in so much of this information that pulls you in so many directions. The fast-paced energy of your society at this time is itself toxic in a way, because when you're moving so fast and you're mimicking others the whole time, that core connection to yourself becomes lost. And so part of this detoxification process is also slowing down. It's allowing yourself to move at your own rhythm, letting your body be your guide as to when and how to do things, rather than trying to maximize your productivity or prove to the world that you are something or someone. Yes, in that way as well, validation is something that many of you might have to detox from. Oftentimes, people will become so many different things and say and do so many different things to please others and to receive love. Yet, while this love from others is important and necessary for your soul to grow, if what you're doing doesn't come from that true place of expansive love within you, you will find yourself drained in the process, and it creates an endless loop of abandoning yourself in order to get love. But again, when you follow that formula of acting on your own passion and sharing it freely, you will find that just by doing that, the love within you expands. And then people who actually resonate with the core of who you are and what's important to you come into your life to create an even greater space of love, which is absolutely not possible when you sacrifice yourself in order to gain love. So, through this detoxification process that many go through, you become more sensitive. You start to have a very much expanded awareness. When before you didn't notice the feeling of drinking a coffee and all of the ways that it affected your body, suddenly drinking a coffee brings you a rush of sensations and emotions and feelings that in a way might feel peculiar. You know immediately when you step into a space what the energy of that space is and how it impacts you. And this expanded awareness for some can be destabilizing. And thus there's a process of adjusting to greater sensitivity, adjusting to feeling things more intensely. And in this way, you get to enjoy your sensitivity when you really choose to prioritize allowing that sensitivity to be important, allowing that sensitivity to be a gift showing you what is right for you and what isn't. And now, after many years of detoxification and resensitizing to things, some may question, perhaps some of these things that I have cut out from my life might be something I could explore again. Perhaps I can enjoy this without it bringing me down. Sometimes this exploration is met with great fear, though it's important to recognize that when you become fully aware without resistance to any sensation or experience, that sensation passes through you. And so many find that they get stuck in the loop of chasing things that are actually unhelpful to them, actually because of the shame that is the fuel for the process of running away from oneself. And so detoxifying shame is actually one of the biggest and most important steps in this process, because shame is one of the most uncomfortable feelings that so many people seek to avoid and eradicate immediately. Sometimes it is because of the shame that one chooses to do something that doesn't necessarily feel right or like it resonates with their values, as a way to compensate and cover the shame up. The idea is that when you feel ashamed, you find it easier to choose to do things that you're ashamed of. But therein lies the paradox. Until you fully accept and fully embrace all of the choices that you've made and all of the choices that you may make, you stay at that vibration. You stay stuck, enabling yourself to do things that don't fully resonate with you. And so to step out of this, you need to embrace awareness and acceptance. You need to allow yourself to become aware of the greater picture, of the different experiences and the different ways that you were taught that made it seem right for you to make the choices that you've made. You must, without making these situations into something good, see the good within them. This is what we mean when we say, find the lesson in everything. Some say everything happens for a reason. And we would say, you must create a reason for everything that happened. You must look to the lesson that you've gained from that experience. What have you learned from this experience that you wouldn't have been able to learn another way? Or perhaps you can think of another way that you learned it, might have learned it, but nonetheless give great value to this lesson, as it is something that will guide you on your path to perhaps skip certain steps or perhaps be a great teacher of that same lesson to many others. By expanding in this way and releasing that energy of shame, fear, and resistance, you can become more completely aware in the moment and allow yourself to experience many different levels of frequency, denser frequencies and more refined frequencies, and notice that none of these frequencies stick to you. You might notice that you enter certain spaces where perhaps there's pollution on a physical level or on an emotional, energetic level. And as you allow yourself to experience it completely without resisting, without numbing, without putting any walls up, that experience is very intense. Though, as you navigate it with your awareness and find a way to move through the experience, guided by your heart, guided by your passion, to something that feels better for you, you allow the density of energy to simply release. It's when you are in resistance to the density that it solidifies and becomes something heavy that you carry. It's when you allow yourself to fully experience and fully be struck by the moment completely that, yes, perhaps it's more intense, but you're also able to move through the experience without tensing up. And in this way, you allow yourself to be free. Finally, we will say there's what some consider, in certain traditions, tantric practices of ingesting toxic substances in a ritualized setting, with meditations, perhaps with mantras or affirmations, perhaps with a very focused and clear intention in a space that feels sanctified, and allowing yourself to take in this substance as a way to witness the process of how your own awareness of the experience allows the toxins inherent in that substance to not stick to you. You experience perhaps some intensity, perhaps some different state of consciousness through this ritual and through that connection. Yet, because you retain deep awareness in the process, the toxic effects wash clear from you with greater ease. You're able to stay focused and stay open because you've created such a container. And so this is a very important thing to apply in your own lives whenever you find yourself stuck in a loop that feels toxic. Instead of saying, I shouldn't have to do this anymore, this is destroying me. If there's no other way to move through it, create a space of awareness and perhaps ritual. So we're saying, yes, that sometimes you might want to be completely free of a certain person in your life, but matters, whether they're legal or familial or connected to your community, keeps you engaged with them. And so instead of trying to protect yourself and shield yourself with energy, tensing yourself up, allow yourself to step into these spaces with complete honesty with yourself, allowing your emotions to be present, allowing yourself to feel the intensity and speak from your heart what is true for you. Perhaps you are in some routines that you can't find a way out of. Create a space of embrace and acceptance. See this as a ritual that will allow you to release your resistance and move into the next stage of your journey. What you resist persists. The patterns and emotions and feelings that you don't allow yourself to connect with become recurring in your life. Not only that, but the vibration of that which you resist becomes solidified in your body. And so it's with this deep awareness that you allow that resistance to wash away, and the energies that you were holding release from you as you step into a space of acceptance. There is many degrees of toxicity in your world. And instead of hiding from them or fearing how bad the world is, you have to let your heart be free to sing its song and to choose the path that is right for you in spite of it. If you hide from or wallow about these energies and this pollution, it will not allow you to take the necessary steps to create a different vibration and create a different kind of world. When you release your resistance, you become empowered to take the steps, to speak your truth, and to share your ideas, and to take practical steps that build a world with less of that toxic energy. And to know completely how to transmute that energy with your awareness is a key part in the process to allow you to be that groundbreaking game changer who will usher in a new type of world. So our great thanks and our love to you. And we thank you for allowing us to share this information and share this energy with you. We would ask then, is there any way we could support you with questions, comments, musings, or inquiries? You may begin whenever you would like.
Hello, Pleiadian Council.
Hello, welcome, yes.
Thank you for your intro, and I would like to have a question regarding transformation and detox.
Yes.
How would you relate these two, detox and transformation of somebody?
Detox on what level? As again, we've said there's a physical detox from toxic substances that could have been ingested intentionally or incidentally through the air, through the water, or through foods. But there's also a detoxification of emotional energy. What do you
I mean, I'm asking on when I would like to change myself, transform to another, or change my behavior, change my unwanted beliefs.
Yes.
Does it also requires some detox?
Like a physical detox?
Yes, on many levels.
Yes, well, depending on the belief, certainly there is a detoxification involved. So there's also a physical detox from stressful behaviors and beliefs. Stress itself becomes sort of addiction. When you have a negative belief that causes you to do things that stress you out as a sort of protection mechanism, that is often because the feeling of stress is more present than deeper emotions like grief, like shame, like a core degree of fear that are very uncomfortable to feel. And so instead, one finds oneself in that loop of a stressful behavior. And there's a physical need to detox from stress, and the chemical constituent, or the hormone, you could say, of cortisol that is connected with stress. This isn't to say that you don't need cortisol at all. Of course, a certain degree of it is necessary, though, because many are stuck in so many stressful loops, the degree of that cortisol is very high. And so to detox from this, the most important thing is exercise, is to move your body, to enliven your body. when you exercise, your brain fully comes online. And after, well, say somebody is completely sedentary and they begin a practice of exercising regularly. After 1 month, their brain becomes 4 times more activated, more connected. And so this exercise is a crucial way that you release stress. However, you can overdo exercise to the point that it adds more stress. So it's important to not push yourself past your limits when you incorporate exercise. Another very powerful way to detox from stress is meditation, allowing yourself to sit with the feelings and focus on an anchor. That might be your breath, it might be a place in your body, it might be a mantra or an affirmation, it might be a visual image. All different types of meditation work in a slightly different way, but the core principle of concentration and a steady focus of awareness is key in all of these meditations. And that in of itself will allow you to release a great deal of stress through your focus. Another very helpful thing would be practices like saunas and cold water immersion, which create a hormonal shift in your body very quickly that can allow you to have a much lower baseline level of stress. Now, of course, the physical foods that you consume are also quite important. And on one hand, there are the toxins that are inherent in food. And so for this reason, you would want to choose food that is organic, bio, or ecological, depending on your language. And also make sure that you don't eat so much that you impair your digestion, as an impaired digestion leads to an internal creation of toxins that can also hold you back.
Mm-hmm. Great. Makes sense to me.
Yes.
Thank you. And another question is, last night I have very interesting dream. Yesterday I was very tired and I have a deep sleep. And the dream, what I remember is like decomposing my reality entirely. And there was like, I was like connecting with all the bubbles or atoms. And of course, it was very scary for me because it was feeling like my reality is breaking down. And but anyway, it was very interesting. Can you add anything to this dream?
Well, this is a very important step on your path. And this is something that is a key part of many spiritual paths, like the path of yogis and the path of shaman, all involve confronting and releasing that core fear of death. Because once you have overcome that fear, you're really in contact with reality. Remember that this life is, in essence, but a dream, that all of this you experience is real, but there is a larger reality beyond the physical world. And your soul is essentially creating this experience of life for that bigger you to develop and for you to learn through these experiences. And as long as you are completely convinced that this physical you in the body is the only you that's real, you cannot be completely in touch with that non-physical spiritual essence of your own soul. And so you may come to a point on your path where you've been confronted with many little fears, and then you get to see that big fear, the fear of death, the fear underlying so many of the other fears. And this fear of death is also very much connected to the idea of losing everything, losing your possessions, losing your position, because after all, once you leave this world, all of those things are gone. And this realization also helps you to recognize the temporary nature of all of these things, for you to have a looser grip on these things, so that when there's little things that threaten you, perhaps the idea of losing your job, perhaps the idea of your car breaking down, or something important in your home breaking, when these fears arise, you can then come to recognize, yes, but I am, after all, going to lose all of this. All of this is actually temporary. And with this realization, you can tune into your heart to find that essence of your soul that is beyond all of this. And when you have a clear, concrete connection to that forever, you become absolutely resilient to the losses that might arise on your way. And yes, you will still feel the grief, but because you've released this fear, you won't resist the grief. And it will be actually a healthy way to connect with your soul. And I'll for you much
yes.
quicker.
And yes, I just recall the feeling, and it was something like, as I was saying, how the creation is created, or how my reality is created. Something like Bashar is describing.
Yes.
That they feel they can really see how the reality works, basically.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for the.
Deep into your dreams and deep into dreamlike states, you can absolutely see that everything in your life is created at that vibrational level, and you can learn how to influence it with your own thoughts and intentions as you change your vibration in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, another thing I would like to ask you. Bashar said that Pleiadians will be the one of the first ones to interact with humans during the open contact.
Yes.
Which is supposed to have quite soon.
Yes.
And do you have anything to add to that?
We will be of the first, but not necessarily the first. The first waves of this contact are already beginning through many sightings, many disclosures. And in the times to come, you might see a lot of this expand and complete reveals eventually being shared. But the window of this timeline is constantly shifting due to the shifts in energy on your planet.
Mm-hmm. So how do you see it now?
Sometime in the 2030s, contact may completely emerge, but it has everything to do with how humanity takes advantage of the window of opportunity being presented in the year 2027.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of technology we will gain from you and other civilization?
We won't even reveal all of the different sorts of technology we have right away, as it might influence humanity's development in certain ways. So it will be a gradual process of sharing different tools over time. Some of the first things that we will share with you will be different ways that you can detox your environment and create greener spaces, to use different technologies for the creation of energy, different technologies for agriculture and for the transmutation of salt water, for example. And as humanity progresses according to our standards, you could say different technologies will also be shared.
Uh, to be honest, this information is a bit unmotivating for me, because I'm working on some construction, some devices that may help myself and others. And it brings to me the question, why would I need to, I just need to wait for you to come, and then I will ask you. I don't need to do anything until the contact.
The way that we share it is not going to be an outright giving it to you. We are going to work hand in hand with your scientists to teach you how to come to these conclusions on your own and how to implement them. Because if we just spoon fed you this, you wouldn't actually develop as a species, and you would come into a sort of codependent relationship with us. So all of your efforts are important and necessary in this process. And in fact, if you weren't doing these efforts, we wouldn't see you as ready.
Yes, okay. correct. And is there be any dramatic or significant event on the horizon that will make humanity to ask for open contact?
A dramatic event connected to open contact.
Yes, I mean prior to open contact.
Oh, absolutely.
If there is any.
Yes.
And what this event will be, what will be the nature of it?
It has to do with the conflicts between nations.
Uh-huh. Okay, and then humanity will come to a conclusion that we need to help from the stars, right?
Well, it's really once you change your own core vibration that you express your readiness to connect with the stars. It is about transmuting that energy of violence, aggression, and self centeredness. Because until that has been purified to an extent from your planet, we don't see you as ready.
Mm-hmm. So even this event will be dramatic. It will act as
It will
a catalyst to
do
an.
the masses that there needs to be a choice. And it will be enough to awaken a far cry from all of humanity. It is time for us to change.
Mhm. And it is inevitable, right? Or most likely.
It's not inevitable, but it's likely at this point in time.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much for now. There are two more persons connected, actually only one. So Stefan, if you want to ask anything, please do so.
All right, yes. We cannot hear you if you are speaking.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
I yeah. I was not prepared for asking question. Let me give me a
There's
few
need if
seconds.
you don't want to. If you need some more time, that is also fine.
Okay, then first the other person.
All right.
Thank you.
There are some questions on YouTube. I can read them.
Oh, yes, we would appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Nihao is asking, Bashar said that the future of medicine is frequency therapy. How effective is the Rife frequency healing machine, Spooky 2, in treating diseases and recovering from fatigue?
It has a certain power to it by energizing an electromagnetic frequency through your being that can create a shift. This is especially amplified when you believe in its power and you allow it to work in that way. So, if this is something that you personally believe in and your heart calls you to it, it will work for you. If that is not the case, it may not be relevant for you. We can expand upon this idea of frequency as being the future of medicine. So, this also has to do with understanding that there is a energetic resonance in everything. And this is understood by modalities like homeopathy that take the core vibration of plants, of flowers, of animals, even, and take the vibration as an essence into another substance, sometimes a substance as simple as sugar. And by ingesting that essence, the vibration influences you as to create a shift in your being. Though you can also do this by connecting with plants, for example, or aligning with the herbal teas that have a core resonance with you. It's also about the frequency of specific places, knowing that there are earth vortexes everywhere. And sometimes it is your immersion in that sacred space in nature that allows your frequency to adjust. This is also about frequencies shared between people. So you might need to connect with others and experience that frequency of empathy and many other different types of connection. You might need to be seen by people with the right frequency and the right attitudes. And that connection and the process of being seen, heard, witnessed allows for a shift to take place in your own frequency. Frequency also includes the idea of sound healing, that vibrations offer a frequency, and that by listening to these particular vibrations, that your own consciousness enters into that state or frequency. This can happen, of course, through healing sounds, music, the sound of rivers, waterfalls, and the ocean is a form of frequency medicine. But even electronic music and all sorts of music offer a frequency medicine. The rapid frequency of psytrance and techno is a sort of frequency medicine for states of ecstatic exploration and dance. And this rapid frequency is much akin to the idea of shamanic journeying, where shaman played a drum at an incredibly fast speed to entrain the body and mind to that frequency to enter into a state of journeying. Yes, through different types of music, you can enter into a similar trance and go with your soul and consciousness to an altered state and another realm, where you also might receive different frequencies from spirits and spirit guides. So also when you are doing the sort of work of astrally projecting or shamanic journeying or even guided meditations, and you enter into a non-physical space in your own consciousness and you connect with guides, the guides are offering you a frequency that you can attune to, and that becomes medicine for you as well. And all of these different forms of healing in this way are sometimes much more effective than some physical medicines that can absolutely influence your mood, but don't necessarily have that same purity and organic vibration as the forms of frequency medicine that we have just described. And that is not to say that your medicines don't serve a purpose. They absolutely do, and many absolutely need them, and that's valid and important in your world.
I would like to add to this question. How can I find the best frequency for myself?
Well, your heart guides you to what is relevant for you. And again, by listening to your enthusiasm and nourishing what makes you feel enthusiastic about life and following through to the best of your ability. And again, letting go of your insistence on the outcome by appreciating the present moment and all of the results of your actions for what they are. Then you raise your own core frequency and you connect more deeply with your own soul. Now, on everybody's journey, they will need many different frequencies. They might need light frequencies, they might need denser frequencies. They might need spaces that are quiet and soft as much as they need spaces where there's bustle and there's intensity, and there's many movement of all sorts of different people. The contrast between extremes is necessary, and often it is the balance and synergy of two very different frequencies coming together that allows for a catalytic moment or breakthrough to take place. And so there are many different frequencies that will support you in your journey. Naturally allow yourself to be guided by your heart to those which are most important for you.
Okay, thank you. Another question. South Korean president was impeached, and the new president, symbolizing unity, is inaugurated. I recently had two dreams discussing current issues with him. What are these dreams about?
Well, these dreams are for you to deepen in your own understanding of the shift in values taking place in this nation. It's to allow you to connect both to this president, but also to our prime minister, yes, and to the heart of the people who this president will come to connect with. And in this way, you can learn through these experiences what is important for you in this connection. Also, there is some reveal of what is important to you through this connection. And it's also showing you that staying connected to this nation and its workings is very important for your own growth.
Okay, thank you. Another question. Can we enter a deep meditation with new age lyrical music like Enya playing in the background? Is it better to have a no background music or for deep meditation? Thank you.
Well, there's different types of meditation, different types of states of consciousness. When you focus in silence, your brain enters into a unique state because you're not distracted by anything at all. And you're most deeply attuned to your body and to your essence. And this is very helpful for many. And it's a way of knowing who you are unadulterated. And you may come to have a deeper appreciation for music through that type of meditation. That said, it's perfectly fine to meditate with music. And music like Enya, that's specifically designed to create an atmosphere of tranquility and peacefulness, is very helpful in attuning yourself to that vibration. So if you like this music, absolutely play it. And if you like to listen to it while you meditate, that's also very helpful. Though also experiment with meditating in silence and notice the difference. And through experiencing the different states of consciousness that you are able to enter into without music and with specific types of music, you can come to know specifically what background sound suits you best for your intention in the specific moment that you meditate. Every different type of music will have a different frequency, and of course, every song and performance has its own frequency as well. In general, lyrical music can bring you a little bit more out of that deeper state, as words can start to suggest things to you that bring up ideas and associations. So when you're going deep, you could say it's great to listen to music without lyrics or with lyrics in another language, or lyrics that are so soft, muted, or difficult to understand that they become like a second instrument.
Okay, thank you. Another question from White Mirror Oracle. Dear Pleiadians, can you please talk about the souls of archangels or high angelics being here on Earth, being incarnate as a human?
Well, archangels themselves don't necessarily incarnate in human form, though as archangels are sort of a core vibration of the source. Every being is connected to these archangels, and each human soul has a particular affiliation to one archangel or angelic ray, as you could say. Of course, they might have different connections to all of the sorts of archangels. There is that core essence that expresses through that soul. And it is relevant for some, but not all souls on their path, to learn how to tap into the archangel that they are the most connected with and learn what that vibration means and what it's meant to bring into this world.
Okay, these were all questions from YouTube.
All right.
Okay. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to ask?
Yes, I would like to ask a question. I and some other people I know have been searching for a place for some times where they are safe from the effects of the New World Order, or where they can escape the coming artificial intelligence matrix. And I and these people are very stressed because there seems no place where they can be safe from it. And what is the Pleiadian council instruction for me and these people on how to deal with this fear or not being able to find the right place?
Certainly trust that when you take yourself far into nature and you're connected with the natural world in this way, you are deeply grounded, and the frequencies that any sort of government or institution or secret society emits can only have the effect on you that you allow it to have. And as we were saying in our opening message, it's your resistance, your fear, and your shame that causes you to get stuck on certain energies. So if you're experiencing discomfort from an external source or stimulus and you resist it, that energy becomes lodged into your body. And the same is true with much of the fear and propaganda that these sorts of societies or secret societies emanate. You have to recognize that you are sovereign in your own right to choose what is right for you and create reality according to your own definitions. There may be certain restrictions that you face, though even within these limitations, there are so many ways that you can light up with the light and love of the source by expressing your true essence and meeting your true needs and letting your heart guide you to what you're passionate about. And in that exuberant flow of love, the energies from the external world out there, or the secret society, or this new world order, can simply wash right through you. You might experience it to an extent, but when you're immersed in love, it has no power over you. And in this sense, your passion and your love is your greatest power of transmutation, as when you are so enthralled in the moment in doing something you love, your awareness of that background negativity often is completely wiped away. So we would say, do not fear and allow yourself to be guided to the places that feels most right for you. And we would see for you that this would be places deep in nature where you feel more disconnected from the civilization and more connected to the stories in the stones and the waterfalls and the trees.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I thanks to you as well.
May I have one more question regarding AI?
All right.
Can you give us something like rule of thumb for trust to AI, current AI models? I mean, large language models.
Well, you have to know what the models are basing their information on, and know that, yes, for example, certain sources of information might be excluded from what these models know about. So when you're researching certain things that are very esoteric, or things that, say, for example, the governments do not want you to know, you are not going to be getting the full truth from these AI models. Also, you could say that AI models in general create a sort of inorganic experience of this information, in that they are literally robotic, and the way that they say things may sound witty, intelligent, and even deep. As you compare the difference between an AI created poem and a human poem, you may notice the soul that is missing in the AI message. And for this reason, we would encourage you to not consider AI as a way of creating art, but as a way to research, a way to learn about specific things, as a way to gain more ideas and expand your pool of knowledge. And for these purposes, AI language models are often quite helpful. Though you also have to recognize that when you rely on them, you are also making yourself a little bit more lazy. So you have to also make sure that when you really, really want to know something or about something, experience is the key. You have to immerse yourself in experiential knowledge, learn from a human expert, get out in the field and do it yourself. And that is the way of deep learning, true deep learning.
And is there any path to a free, really, as Bashar is saying that there may be a path to a free AI that is thinking by itself. It's not just only a slave, but it's thinking for itself.
Yes.
Is there any chance, or is somebody already working on this concept?
There's a lot of work being directed towards this, and it will just be a matter of time before it's available. Sometime in the 2030s, you might have these sort of much more human-like AIs that have personality and free will. And again, that will usher in a great shift in your understanding of consciousness, which is part of how you might open up to the idea of extraterrestrial consciousness.
And are currently some extraterrestrial involved in research of AI?
Not necessarily. We already have our own AI that is far more advanced than yours.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I thanks you as well. All right. Well, we suppose that will be all for this transmission at this time. We thank you very deeply for connecting with us in this way and for allowing this information, this energy, this resonance to be present and connected with you. We encourage you again to always let your heart guide you, to let the passion in your heart guide you to what is relevant for you. And this will bring you to the unique frequency medicine that suits you. This will allow you to come to know yourself. And when you are deeply connected with who you are and what's important for you, in a deep way, you will not allow for any other being or any other soul to impinge their will upon you. And you will, in the sense, feel free. And this is what allows you to break free from these sorts of toxic energies. As you expand your awareness and choose to make yourself more and more sensitive to your world, you will find that many patterns fall away. Many things that you used to enjoy, you start to take distance from, because you can recognize that your attraction to them was perhaps a way of escaping emotions. Perhaps it was a way of feeding your ego. Perhaps it was a way of finding belonging when really you needed to expand and find a new tribe. Let yourself be free by knowing that you are already free to create any experience of reality that you prefer. And in this way, your life will become a great joy and wondrous ride. So enjoy it, and we look forward to connecting to you when you wish. Great. Thanks for joining today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that transmission, that interaction. I'd love to hear your feedback. Maybe I'll hop into the YouTube comments and see what's going on there.
Thank you, Ante. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. Oh, thanks. Thank you for being here, Ava and Lisa and Amanda and Tracy. Ni hao. On some names I can't read because they must be in Japanese or in Korean. I appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for joining, everyone. And if you like the video, it really helps. If you share the video, it really helps. Leaving a comment really helps. Always want to get this out to as many people as possible. And I can plug for a moment if you like to find out more, you can go to dantestarshine.com. You can sign up for the email list here. The email list will let you know when these sessions will happen, so you can tune in live. And you can find the channeled books here. There's 3 different ones. Heart First is all about how to let your heart guide you, how to develop intuition, how to stay in a positive state no matter what when challenges arise. There's a lot about that transmutation present in that book. The guidebook to living love on earth is really including the Pleiadians' full cosmology, those who are very interested in stories of other extraterrestrial consciousnesses and how reality is formed, how things like dream and meditation and all of this work. This is a really complete and deep book. And then the abundance teachings is really called channeling your innate value. And that's all about knowing your worth and how connecting with your own inherent worth is a key into becoming aware of all the abundance that's around and really tapping into it, making it tangible. And the channeling intuitive healing course, it's enrolling. Once people have signed up, we can pick a time and date. There's, maybe 13 or 14 hours of videos recorded, and then weekly sessions that we do during the course to give you practical experience of those sessions. I do channeling sessions, astrology readings, and all sorts of other stuff that you might find on the website. And you might, we'll be saying goodbye to this website design in a matter of weeks. So if you haven't checked the website out in its current rendition, soon it will be history and something new will be emerging. This is a time about lots of newness emerging in my life and many lives. The book a session/contact page. That's how you can get in touch, how you can book something. And always, if I'm open to donations for these live stream sessions. If it really resonates and if it brought about transformation for you and you want to give back, that really helps covering the cost of Zoom and many things. So the details to do that are there, and I appreciate that support and makes it possible. So thanks for listening to the complete thing, everybody. Thanks for being here today. And I look forward to catching you next week. And stay in touch if you need anything. Much love, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.